All right, so let's keep going with symbolizing. So let's start with 1. Someone gets angry at everyone. So what we can see is we're talking about someone. There's some x such that x is a person. Angry. X gets angry at y. Everyone. All of y. But we're talking again about people here. So to say that someone gets angry at everyone is to say that there exists some x such that x is a person, and for all of y, if y is a person, then x is angry at that y. Looking at number 2, we see everyone laughs at someone. So we have everyone, we're talking about all of x, and we're talking about people here. Laughs is relational, x laughs at y. Someone, there exists some y, and we're talking again about people. So everyone laughs at someone. For all of x, if x is a person, it follows that there exists some y that is also a person, and x laughs at that y. Everything is either colorless or the same color as itself. So everything we're talking about, definitely a universal here, everything. We have an either or, so we're going to have a wedge in here somewhere. Colorless, well, if we look at our key, we have CX to mean X has a color, so colorless is going to be not CX. Or the same color, this is SXY, as itself, so we know we're going to be repeating the same symbol twice. So everything, for all of X, X is either colorless, has no color, or X is the same color as itself, SXX. Some people like themselves, but some people do not like themselves. We know that the but here is going to be an ampersand, so let's group these things as separate statements, and then we'll ampersand them together later. Some, there exists some X, we're talking about people, and like is LXY, themselves means we're going to repeat the same little letter twice. Some, exists some Y, people, PY. Actually, since we're just talking about people in the same instance, let's just use X for consistency. Do not like themselves. So we have, again, liking of LXY. Themselves means we repeat the X twice. And the not means it's a negation. So some people like themselves. There exists some X, such that X is a person, and X likes themselves. And there also exists some X, such that, actually Y sounds better, exists some Y such that Y is a person, and it's not the case that Y likes themselves. No one laughs at anyone. No one. You will see me again usually translate this as it's not the case that there exists an X such that. And it looks like I forgot to add in the key here, so apologies, that's my bad. We're talking about no one, so we're talking about a person. We're talking about laughing, and that's X laughs at Y. And at anyone is going to be, well, it's going to be, in this case, an existential Y. And you'll see why in a second. There's 2 translations here. The first translation is to say, not the case that there exists an X such that X is a person, and that there is some Y such that Y is a person, and X laughs at Y. We could also translate it as for all of X. If X is a person, then it's not the case that there exists a Y such that Y is both a person and X laughs at Y. The anyone here could be confusing just because we might want to construe that as a universal, but that's not quite how it goes here. So looking at 6, we see some students, so there exists some X, category is students. Finding boring is X finds Y boring. We have little k for Kant. But means and, also means that this is going to be its own little clause. We have little a for Amy. Amy is a student who does not find Kant to be boring. So, not boring. We're going to have Kant right there. So some students. There exists some X, such that X is both a student and X is bored by Kant. And we also have a student named Amy. And Amy does not find Kant to be boring. Everything is caused by something or other. So everything, all of x is caused by. So here you can see that the key that I'm using allows for the passive voice. So this is x is caused by y. And then something is just going to be there's some y. So everything, for all things, there exists some y such that x is caused by y. Nothing causes everything. Nothing, not the case that there exists an x such that everything, x causes everything. So you'll notice here that we have a very different schema. We have x causes y. This is active voice. Versus up here we had passive voice. So the key that you use to define how the terms are being translated does actually make a difference. So nothing causes everything. It's not the case that there exists an x such that for all of y, x causes that y. Let's go ahead and do a few more so I can make this video an even split. Something causes everything. So something, there exists some x, causes, x causes y, everything is going to be universal, y. So there exists some x such that for all of y, x causes y. Let's contrast that to 10. Nothing causes anything. This one's a little bit more complicated. We can see that there's going to be a causal relation, cxy, but the question is, what gets to be a universal and what gets to be an existential? So I'm going to give you a few different ways and just kind of throw them at you. You could translate it as for all of x, it's not the case that there exists some y such that x causes y. Or you could translate it as it's not the case that there exists an x such that there is some y that x causes. Or you could say for all of x and for all of y, it's not the case that x causes y. All of these translations would work. Let's do one more. Everyone gets angry at someone about something. So everyone, all of x, and knowing x is a person, to get angry at, that's x gets angry at y about z. Someone, well, we're going to be talking about someone who is a person, and about something, some z. So everyone gets angry for all of x, if x is a person. Then there exists some y such that y is a person, and there's some z. And z just here is just standing for thing. It's just that x gets angry at person y concerning that z. So this is going to be the second to last video I do for relations from the optional problems that I put up on Canvas. I'm going to do one more video with these optional problems, and then I'm going to go back and flag a few things from Lemon.